You're listening to Nothing's Off the Table, the podcast where no subject is too taboo to discuss. Now, please welcome your hosts, Andy Barker and Lou Del Pree.
Hey. It's Friday night, and we're back. You're muted again.
Yes, I am.
Back to normal.
Everything's. Oh, there's my new lunchbox, Doctor Who.
Oh, okay.
Put that in the frame. Anyway.
Very nice. So what's up, man? I know it's well, we came back 1 week, gone last week, and we're back again.
Yeah. Happy to be back.
It's fall. Baseball is over for me, and it's time to get back into our regularly scheduled Friday night routine.
I have this weekend. I have 2 games. I have one Saturday, one Sunday.
Oh, and that's it for the season.
Should be.
Okay, good.
Hope it is.
Well, I'll tell you, the reason why we didn't have a show last week is because I had to go down to Pensacola. Buddy of mine retired after 20 years, and I was the master of ceremonies. So I couldn't just not go.
And you saw a buddy of mine.
Yeah, a very close buddy. I mean, I tell you, I'm glad I got that opportunity.
Yeah, he was glad too. So Andy went down. So for those of you that don't know, my boy is an airman in the United States Navy, ready to attend ATA school down in Pensacola, and Andy went and dropped in on him.
That's what we do. We check on him. Good kid, man. We didn't do much. We really couldn't do much. He couldn't leave base, obviously. So we just went over to
Is he pumpkin? Does he have a pumpkin on his car? Remember that? It should be like an orange sticker.
On the ID card. Yeah. I didn't see. No, I didn't even look, man. I was just kind of in my own little world. You know me.
I hear you. But you do remember that though, right? They used to pumpkin you.
Oh yeah.
And they'd call it that. They would say you'd get pumpkin.
Yeah, I just forgot.
I was telling him about getting your dick license.
Remember
we were talking about that? You and I were talking about that. You used to get a dick license. They used in the Navy. Like I report to my first duty station. I'm in the warehouse. I'm on hold. I'm waiting to go to field med. So I guess it's not my first duty station, but
intermediate.
I have to report to Great Lakes, right? You have to excuse me. Anyway, I report there, and they're like, "Yeah, you have to get it. You're gonna be, driving the Govy vehicles. You got to go get a dick license." And I'm like, and they're like, "No, seriously, you got to get a dick license." I'm like, they're like, "No, you got to go sign up for the dick course. Like, you need to go over to education training and tell them you need a dick license. That's what it's called." And I'm like, "Oh my god, they're gonna get me punched."
Right.
So I go over to education training. I'm like, I'm supposed to sign up for the. Man, I don't even want to say it. And they're like, the dick license? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, that's what it is. And then he shows me the form, and it's try for improvement course.
I remember that shit.
Yes. You see, you had to have, if you were under 25, I think, or 21 or something, you had to have the driver's improvement course license before they would allow you to drive the government vehicle, even if you have a driver's license.
You know what's sad is I was fucking already old enough to not have to do that by the time they came out with that fucking program. That's an insult. Let me tell you.
Right. Well, what's funny is right. Yeah, because I'm talking about this happened in 1996. So what's funny is, I'm hearing this, and I didn't say this at first, right? I'm hearing this from the LPO, who's a woman. You need to get your dick license, and I'm like, that's why I'm like, this isn't real. This isn't real.
Right.
And this is why I tell people all the time. It's not that veterans don't want to tell their stories. It's just that we don't want to be judged for them because they're just so outrageous, right? Yeah, this woman is looking me in the eye going, you need to go get your dick license if you think you're going to drive that car. I'm like,
shit,
no way.
Yeah, no way. You would
She's
think
good looking,
that,
right? She's good looking. I'm like, this is such a setup.
So have you ever watched Vet TV? Anything on that?
I have not. Everybody talks about it.
For any civilians out there listening, if you want to understand in visual format what Lou and I are just talking about, go watch some of that stuff because that shit. I almost guarantee you. Well, I not almost. I guarantee you the skits that they come up with are from shit that really happened, and it was funny as hell. So they're recreating it, and yeah, but you would not believe. You would think that this is all made up, but I guarantee you this is from shit that's happened.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane, man. And I remember like when I was in, and I would watch movies and I'd be like, oh my God. And then I'd be like, oh my God. There's like two, you're like, that is highly classified. And then you're like, wait, nobody does that. Tuck your elbow, retard.
You know, it's a great movie. I would say a great insider movie. Down Periscope. Now,
That's a funny movie.
it's a comedy and it is funny, but there's like so many hidden Easter eggs in there. If you're a submariner, you know what I mean? That you're like, oh my fucking God, I can't believe they just put that in there.
Yes. So I just, speaking of movies and Easter eggs, and I do not know if they are going to make their production budget back. But what I will say is Tron Ares was a phenomenal movie. Are you a fan? Have you seen the first one?
Yes.
Have you seen the second one?
No.
Okay, you don't need to. It's almost, but I'm going to say it's not as bad. But it's almost in the category of Highlander 2. We're all just going to pretend it never happened.
Okay.
Right?
What up, Coop?
So anyway, great movie, and the callbacks to the original, just phenomenal. And I had just watched it too. So it was all because I knew I was going to go see Tron Ares.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, let me go watch both. No references to the second one much. But to the first Tron, and it was great, and the story was good. The effects were good, the fighting was good, everything about it was great. I loved Tron Ares. Do not think it is gonna do what it needs to.
You know what? I'm going to date myself a little bit here. I remember when the first Tron came out.
Yeah.
I also remember McDonald's with all their Tron Happy Meal toys.
Yes, I remember. Yes. Yeah, I was I was born in 77 and Tron came out in 84, I think. So that was right at me, 8 years old, like, oh yeah, man, we had Frisbees, we were hitting each other with Frisbees and them shits hurt. Like whack. Oh no, man, this thing I'm holding my Frisbee out to block my friends and it's like cutting right through. Like it's like my hands can't hold that.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah, we were having blast, man, playing Tron.
Didn't they have like a
video game?
I know they had the video game, but didn't they have like this little like a disc shooter thing? Didn't they like a toy from the movie? I'm trying to remember that shit.
Oh no, they were throwing the discs.
Okay,
they were throwing them.
I'm thinking something else.
Yeah, and they were hitting them. But it was. I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. Tron Ares, like I said, just I think is going to be a sleeper movie. I think kind of like maybe. I don't know what Tron did in the box office, the first one, but
yeah, I don't know either.
I think this Ares is gonna build over time, and it definitely spoiler alert 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoiler. Definitely left open, for a second one, or a series. I mean, it definitely left open many avenues to continue, and in a good way. It wasn't like, it was good. It was a very good open ending.
So Tron's Disney, right?
Yes.
So it left openings for tranny characters. And
there was none of that.
There
was none of that. None of that in the movie. At least that I mean, unless. And again, I always hated this. They talk about like, well, that's a dog whistle for Republicans. You idiot! The humans can't hear dog whistles. So unless unless they're dog whistling trans ideology, I didn't see it.
Oh, all right. Well, you never know. They might be. Who knows?
Right.
I wouldn't put it past them. But
that's what I'm saying. But it was good, and like I said, story was good, solid. Well, here's what I'll tell you. When I say good, what do I mean, right? Do I mean, are you going to go there and you're going to cry? No. But, I mean, very solid. Like, I wasn't like, oh, this is, I don't believe this. It was very solid for the Tron universe to work that way, So,
well, good.
yeah.
Maybe Hollywood's finally, pulling their head out of their asses a little bit and realizing we don't want any of that shit. Just entertain us, man.
Yeah.
Just take our minds off of shit for 2 hours,
Hey,
what up, Joe?
Wouldn't it be 4D chess if they bought the Star Wars franchise to kill it, only to boost Tron 10 years later?
It'd be amusing.
Maybe. I'm trying to justify the death of a franchise. Them killing Star Wars.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
But
what I do have is getting back to Pensacola. It was good.
Oh yeah.
Getting to hang out, meet your son, and even though we just went to a little food court area, but just tell some stories, tell some lies on
Yeah,
it's fun. So of course I told him, if there's anything pops up, you're part of the Navy family now. If there's something you're not comfortable asking your dad, you can always ask me, and I'll make sure to tell him. I mean that I won't tell him.
I called him and I was like, hey, how's everything going? Because he was getting ready to class up, and he's like, and he like fessed up to something because I think he thought I knew.
Oh,
so I played it like, yeah, well, hey man.
Sometime it'd be like that.
No, but no, he's doing good. He's a good kid. He finish out.
Yeah, I think the conversation that we had, I think he's figured it out this time, at least for where he's at in his life.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
He realizes it's a game. He's just got to play the game.
And Pensacola, he was showing me pictures. It looks pretty.
It is pretty there. It's very pretty. So I brought him around a few areas. Half of that base is civilians and come on, because they have the aviation museum there. They've got the tallest lighthouse on the Gulf Coast there, or the Gulf of America, whatever we're calling it now. America.
I want him to get, I want him to get me a Gulf of America t-shirt from the Gulf of America. I'm gonna have to call him.
Yeah. You should, man. I didn't even see any. I should have looked. But anyway, yeah. So there's a lot to do there. Is my point on base. And I was just showing him the different areas that he had no idea about. Because it's not a huge base, but it's spread out quite a bit.
Yeah.
So there's things to do to keep you occupied other than the boozing it all the time. Is my point.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
And that's good news, man. And speaking of news.
I do it. All right, guys, let's get to it. We got some stories maybe you haven't heard of in the news today. We'll wrap up this week with the stories that didn't quite make it. BRICS expansion reshapes the global economic order, right? Everybody's been watching BRICS. Remember that? Can you name BRICS?
Brick shithouse?
No, I used to not be able to either, but it's like Brazil, Russia, India, Colombia, and China and South Africa.
China.
Right, expanded. Anyway, they added 6 new nations, which of course they have to because they're falling apart. Number two story in the news: Zimbabwean politician dies in an elephant collision. You got to be careful. I am always saying you've got to be careful when riding your elephant, especially in Zimbabwe. But anyway, Desiree Moyo, I believe I'm saying that correctly, a Zimbabwean opposition lawmaker and poet. Tragically died after his vehicle collided with an elephant on a rural highway. The bizarre and fatal encounter occurred when the elephant retaliated after being struck. They will do that. Let me make a public announcement. When you strike an elephant, they will strike back. Don't say you don't learn things here. Number 3, Oklahoma legalizes robot chicken fights. What did you say? Should I repeat that? Yes. Oklahoma has legalized robot chicken fights. In a surreal legislative twist, Oklahoma passed a law allowing live roosters to fight robots so long as the birds remain unharmed.
What's the point?
Robot chicken fights. You got to see that, man. Robots versus chickens. It's got to be good.
I think
If
I'm
we had a
good.
producer, we'd Google that right
Yeah.
now. I want to see robot chicken fight. Later. We'll look later. And then there's gonna be a movie about this. There has to be a movie about this. The Louvre heist.
Oh, yes.
There's gotta be broad daylight with a furniture lift.
That's
And multiple vehicles.
insane.
There's going to be a movie about this.
There's got to be.
There has to be. We're coming back to that. Let me finish up real quick. Blueberry spill causes sticky traffic jam in California. A truck spill. How pissed would you be if you drove through that? Truck spilled thousands of blueberries on Highway 99 near Fresno, creating a mess, halting traffic. How mad would you be? I hit a deer once and I was pissed. I had to go to the wash, man. It cost $5.
Damn.
Hey, I was in a Dodge Neon. It took it like a champ, man. It just cracked the blinker. Like it was
Wow.
like nothing.
Wow.
I never told you that.
No.
Oh my God, it happened in Virginia on our way back from the gun store. I can't believe I never told you this. So we went to the gun store in Portsmouth and he says, don't buy here, go to our store in the county and you won't have to fill out paperwork. And we're like, all right. So we go to the county. Yeah, come back in. So we go to the county, look at the guns, and as we're looking at the guns, a group of kids come in and they're looking for extended mags, and he's like, we don't have extended mags. And he makes a joke where the customer's getting in your way. We're laughing. Get over here. Anyway, this is my first time at a gun store, right?
Oh, shit.
Anyway, I'm with my neighbor, so we're dying laughing. And guns are, I didn't realize they're that expensive, right? You know, so I think I went there with like $20 or something. Oh, no. Well, no, that's not true. I was going there to look. I knew they were, but I knew I wasn't going to buy, right? I was just going there to look. Unless something really caught my eye, and nothing really caught my eye. And because I didn't even know what I would do with it, right? I was in the military. I was young in the military. I don't even know what you're supposed to do. Where would I put it? You know, I don't have a say. I don't have anything.
Right.
So we were just going to go. And so on the way back, I see this brown bag in the street, right? And this is pre-combat days. So I'm like, that's brown paper bag. Just, I don't have enough time I don't want to swerve into the other lane. I'll just split it, right? Turns out it's a deer.
Oh, shit.
It's a dead deer.
Oh.
So I drag it.
Oh,
And,
no.
my engine starts smoking. I know I've told this. I think I told this on the pit. So because I know I've told it before. So my engine starts smoking, and I'm like, and my neighbor's like, pull over, because we can't even see out the window. It's like pitch black. Can't even see the window.
Shit.
So I pull over, and it's like the reason I have to explain. I know you're like, why is this detail important? But because it is very important. So it's pitch dark on the highway. There's a couple of street lights, not many. But he pulls over onto the grass where it's like there's like a little bit of a grade down, right? So I get out. He goes, "Hey, look underneath the car." And I'm like, well, I don't want to get hoofed in the face because I'm thinking planes, trains, and automobiles.
Right.
I know it sounds stupid, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, this fucking thing is gonna hoof me, right?
It's coming back to life, baby.
So I don't look under here. I go down the hill and come back up so I can see under the car as I'm coming back up. Well, as I go down, the police come. And I can see my neighbor getting out.
Mm.
and he's like saying something, and then I look up and his hands go up.
Oh, Jesus.
And he just kind of stays there, and he's like, my friend is down here looking under the car, and he's like, why is he looking under the car down there? I have to explain now. I'm a pussy who doesn't want to get hit with a hook. So I come up. He's like, come on up. So my hands are up. I come up. He holsters his weapon.
Oh, shit.
So he had drawn on my neighbor.
What the fuck for?
Well, my neighbor got out.
Oh.
And I guess he was supposed to stay in, but he got out. And so he drew on him. So anyway. This guy says, what the hell is going on here? Right? So we're like, we hit a deer back there. He goes, oh, yeah, I saw it. You guys drug it? He goes, I saw it back there. I just called it in. That's where I was. He said, I can see you drug it, or something. And we have the hood up, and smoke is coming off the engine. And so he walks over. Oh, mind you, none of us have looked under the car yet.
Oh, Jesus.
No one's looked under the car yet. So he walks over, and my wheel wells are like helter-skelter, right? Helter fucking skelter. Like, there's blood everywhere in their wheel wells. Like, I could have hit a fucking kid. It's pitch dark, right?
Damn, yeah.
So he walks up, and he just goes like this. Oh, man, there ain't nothing wrong with the engine. That's just the meat cooking on the oil pan. Shut her down, take it to the wash, and get it done. And he just walks away. He sniffs it. And let me repeat. Oh, that ain't nothing wrong with the engine. That's just me cooking on the oil pan. Go ahead, shut it down, hit that car, walk down the way.
Was this a highway patrol?
Fucking left.
Is this highway patrol?
Yes.
Yeah, go figure.
Just left. Got in his car, said, I'll wait till you get back on the road. Okay. We got back on the road. He got behind us, shut him down, passed us, and never saw him again. Went to a car wash. We started washing my car, and that's when my neighbor said, this is the most perfect place to rob a motherfucker. Could you imagine if I just turned this hose and hosed you down right now? You'd freeze. And your keys are in the car? I was like, what? All from a trip to the gun store.
That's some pretty random shit to come up with, man.
I was like, man, you could really rob a motherfucker here at the car wash, man. He's like, can you imagine getting hosed down? How cold it is right now? We're out here.
Wow.
I was like, no, I could. Damn, you're right.
Yeah, now that I thought about it.
Right?
Give me your wallet, motherfucker.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is just we just came from the gun store, and the customers are in the way, and
I can't believe you haven't told me that story.
I couldn't believe it either, man. Anyway, but yeah, when he said the meat was cooking on the oil pan, we were just like, it don't get any southern than this, right?
You said we needed to circle back to something, and I don't remember what it was.
We were gonna circle back to the Lou.
Yes.
That's crazy.
That is that's a movie that just wrote itself.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. And you got to wonder what they're gonna do with the jewels. Melt them down, sell them. Somebody was saying like, finance. Who do you fence? And no, you that's all lined up before you do something like this.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't do this and then go. So Jim, you got that? You got those 20 Bazooka Joes. You know what I mean?
So my thought process is they would never be able to sell them as is.
No, it's probably a collector paid for them to do that.
It's either that or they're gonna modify them. They're gonna, like you said, melt them down. They're gonna modify like the diamonds, and they'll never be recovered as they were. They're fucking gone.
Yeah, or I don't know, man. They might go into a private collection.
Could.
You know what I mean? Like that could all have been financed by a private collector.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, this is phenomenal in this day and age that happened.
It just exposed a serious lack of security as well.
I I remember an FBI agent telling me years ago, it's easy to rob a bank. He's like, and once you see how easy it is, you'll go rob two. But then you made a pattern, and now we got you.
Yep.
He goes, and that's what happens. He says, if you could rob one and walk away, you'd be fine. You never get caught. He's like, I'm not going to say never. He's like, but if you were to really plan it out and rob one bank and walk away, you could probably do it.
Yeah.
But once you realize, how easy it is, you're going to go do it again.
You'd have to be super disciplined.
Yeah, he's like, and once you do it again, now you have a pattern,
Right.
You're going to do something the same way again because it worked.
Not saying that I would ever rob a bank. Not saying that at all. But I definitely have one of those personality traits that I could do it once and walk away.
Yeah.
I totally could.
Not me. Not me. I don't know. I don't have the patience for all of that.
It's easy, man. Just do it one time, fucking hit it and quit it and fucking move on. And you know what? Like, I don't know if I was ever that desperate in my life, it would have to be something crazy. Like, I need this much cash right now to save one of my kids' life, or something like that. I could do it, but it would never be.
Could you?
It would never be out of sheer greed, Now, what I could see is the adrenaline.
Well, yeah, yeah. People get addicted to that.
Yeah. Not saying I would ever rob a bank. So stop listening, NSA and FBI, CIA, all them other three.
But if I did,
right.
I didn't kill Nicole Brown, but if I did.
But if I did.
I can't believe you wrote that book. O.J. Simpson wrote that book. I didn't kill her, but if I did.
I totally can believe it.
Do you think he killed them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he had help.
I remember watching the trial on TV. I remember watching the SUV, and I remember not really caring. In all honesty, so I don't really remember the ins and outs of it.
I remember I was because when he was on the Bronco, it was on the news. We were in Waikiki in a hotel room getting ready for the Navy for the Corpsman birthday ball.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So
I remember Judge Ito.
Yeah. That's why I always remember that shit, because we were in the hotel room pre-flighting, man.
I remember my neighbor. When did that happen?
94.
I remember my neighbor telling me, Google it, and no, we're not Google it back in the day, but look it up. Maybe it was Google or Jeeves. I don't know. Anyway, I was able to look it up and confirm, but it was F. Lee Bailey's firm that represented OJ. You know? And what my buddy was saying was, he was like, he goes, oh, I guarantee. He goes, look at F. Lee Bailey. He wrote the UCMJ. Look what he's said about winning cases. He goes, I guarantee you, he was on the phone with them the whole time, telling them, keep driving, OJ. This is great. Just keep driving. Don't stop. Just keep going.
Well, I don't doubt that for a second.
Just keep driving. Man. This is awesome. This is the press we need. Just keep driving. Yep. Use your blinker. That makes sense. Because one of the things F. Lee Bailey said, right? And think about this in politics, think about this in other areas, right? You first have to win in the court of public opinion if you want to win in court.
Facts.
And he, sure enough, why did they acquit OJ? Even the jurors said we acquitted to avoid.
I know why.
Andy?
Because the glove didn't fit. Whoa.
And no, because they didn't want LA to turn into race riots.
Right.
So they didn't convict him. And then they went after him in civil court and destroyed his life. And then remember, he got caught breaking in, trying to steal his trophies back and shit.
Right.
Oh,
That
man.
motherfucker's guilty as shit, man. And
The
I've
juice.
even the juice, man. I just recently watched something a couple of days ago. Not Furman, but the other detectives that were involved in that case. And they're convinced 100% he's guilty. Said Furman really fucked up the whole case for
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
He drove
know,
around the block with this blood and
yeah,
then like drank it, or I don't know,
whatever
injected
he
it into a
did.
bat that shit in a lake, and then we had COVID.
Right, yeah. But
Right? Isn't that?
listen to those guys. Man, oh, and you know what's funny is actually the show they had the detectives and Kato Kalin
Oh
was on
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
too.
Kato Kalin, the house guest.
Yeah, so and they were talking about, when they first went in to interview him, waking him up, and he was like, well, he's a weirdo anyway, but
Yeah,
it was fascinating. It was amazing to hear the evidence that they had that the prosecution would not even submit.
that's the other thing. Yeah, yeah.
Um, so and yeah, they were saying that Marshall, whatever the hell her name was very brilliant and smart, but for whatever reason, um, she would not, introduce evidence that would definitely convict this guy. So
It
who
was all. It
knows?
was all the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
They
Um,
had to let him off. So that's the other, like, so the game is played a lot differently nowadays. Like they've become smarter at it. Um, so uh, the cop that took the kid for the rough ride and he died in the back of the vehicle. Right? They handcuffed him, but they
oh,
never secured him,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they took him for
yeah,
what they call a rough ride.
yeah. In
And
the
then
van.
he died in the back or some shit because he whacked his head or something, or they bounced him or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
And anyway, um, you can't. Well, they got off, right? I think I'm pretty sure they got
I think
off.
so.
Yeah, I think they got off, right? Because everybody knows, shit like that happens, right? Everybody knows. And if you start fucking people up like that, no one's gonna come work for you, right? Because the shit be happening in jail all the time, So that's why a lot of these guys don't win, because you can't go after the COs all the time and destroy their lives, or no one's gonna be a CO.
Right.
You can't. You know what I mean? So to look like they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, protecting the people. What you see happen a lot is the DA, and what happened in that case, I believe specifically, and some other cases, is they overcharge,
Mm.
right? So then they look good to so like if I'm a liberal DA, right? Like in Maryland, I believe that happened. If I'm a liberal DA and they bounce the cops around, and I know I have to have a good relationship with the cops. Well, I'm going to signal to my base that I'm hard on the cops. I'm not only going to charge him for murder, even though it's like manslaughter, right? Like indirect, right? I'm going to charge him for homicide.
Involuntary. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm going to charge him for homicide because they premeditatedly, thought about that, and then that's going to show my conviction, right? Even though I know I can't prove that shit. And then when the jury lets him off, I'll just blame the jury.
It's disgusting.
Right? So they play these games with the law. Well, I think, and another thing, I think Trump is exposing a lot of the lawfare too now.
Oh
You
yeah.
see these judges, they don't care. I mean, Trump can move the National Guard any way he wants, and he has precedent for that. And what we judges ordering, stop here, stop there, and they're getting overturned. And a lot of this is getting fast tracked to the Supreme Court to be overturned. But these judges don't care about the law. They don't
No,
like Trump, and they just want to stop him.
that's all it is. It's funny. I was I was going to do my I ain't buying it segment tonight. I was in the midst of writing something up, and then I got frustrated and distracted, and I said, "Screw it." However, I just want to talk about the ridiculousness and the hypocrisy of the Democrats. I mean, they got leadership issues out the wazoo, right?
Yeah.
They have caused this government shutdown. We need to be focusing on opening the government back up. But no, what are we focused on if you're the Democratic Party right now? Oh my God, Trump is destroying the White House. Literally. They're hung up on him building a ballroom in the White House that, oh, by the way, isn't costing taxpayers a single freaking dime or 1 red cent.
Well, yeah.
But they shut the government down for an issue that's going to cost the American taxpayers an ass ton of money with trying to fund Medicaid for these illegal aliens. I swear to God, I'm living in the fucking Twilight Zone, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Up is down, down is up. It's what the fuck, man. They're mental. I don't give a shit.
So I know people believe Trump is not going to leave the White House. He's not going to leave as king. He's not going to leave. Nobody builds a ballroom and leaves, and he's not going to. He's going to stay there forever. Da, da. And I'm like, do you understand? To like me and people who support him, his legacy is already cemented.
Yep.
He just has to. He'll leave. We already will cement his legacy. Number one. Number two, that's not the purpose of the ballroom. But the ballroom will always be known as the Trump Ballroom. Again, permanently enshrined his name in the White House. He's already made his name immortal in history. He's already done it. This second win did it. That's why he's able to plow through and not care about your tears.
That's right.
He's already secured it. He doesn't have to stay for a third term. He's teasing you and loving it. We have already sainted him. He's good. In our eyes, he's good. And he hates that answer. But I tell you, he's good. So you're going to have the Lincoln bedroom and you're going to have the Trump ballroom. And that's how it's going to be known forever. And that's his legacy. He's going to leave. If he stays, he'll harm his legacy.
Right.
So he's got you guys sounding crazy.
Oh, totally. The whole king thing is it's such a not an issue, if he was truly a king and if he was taking over as a dictator, as you all scream, or a Nazi or whatever, fascist, whatever you want to call him, you wouldn't be able to protest. You're no king.
Oh, yeah. And here's the other thing too, people forget he spoke, and it's not they forget. They don't listen or they don't care. And the media is not helping, the situation. But Trump spoke about the ballroom when he was talking about tariffs. And he mentioned, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he said it's no wonder we sign bad tariff agreements, tax agreements with countries, because it's so intimidating when you're in their areas. You go talk to the Saudis, it's gold everywhere, grand, huge, it's intimidating. And then you bring them to the White House and it's done in tents with folding chairs and tables. That's how it's done in the Rose Garden. No matter what the weather is, it's tents, folding chairs and tables for events at the White House, no matter what the weather is.
Yeah, that sounds like, going from the upscale dinner to Pookie's barbecue.
Well, and his point is, it's no wonder we sign agreements with bad agreements. It's intimidating just walking into the king's, house.
Mm-hmm.
And then you bring them to the White House and we're going to go outstairs and, they're holding umbrellas for us to walk. You've seen them hold the umbrellas as we walk. He's like, this is ridiculous. He's like, no, we're going to have something grand. It's going to be impressive and they're going to be impressed when they walk in there. And then when we sit down to, sign agreements, they're going to remember that dinner and that ball and that dancing. And then, you know what I mean? And he explained all of this. And people are freaking out saying it's a ballroom just for him.
Yeah, they're stupid. That's just all it comes down to. They're just stupid. Yeah. And you know what? If we're friends and you're of the belief that Trump is destroying the country and the White House and you're offended by me calling you stupid, well, maybe we probably shouldn't be friends any longer. Just saying, because you're too stupid to realize what's going on, number one. But my favorite is Hillary. How she's, out there leading the charge of how Trump is doing this to the White House and that to the White House. And all I can think of is, lest we forget your disastrous tour in the White House, what your husband did in the White House, not to mention the furniture and the silverware and everything that you stole, Hillary.
They destroyed. Don't you remember? They destroyed the W's. Their staff ripped every W out of the keyboard. Because we have class or something.
Right. Yeah.
Every W ripped out of the keyboard when George W. I mean, they vandalized the place and stole tens of thousands of dollars worth of China.
Yes.
They were the first in history to ever do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
And
by the way, and had to bring some of it back.
here's the other thing. I was alive for the Clinton presidency. Okay. So here's another thing. All right. I remember when he took office and fired every U.S. attorney that wasn't a Democrat. There was a purge of U.S. attorneys under Clinton that were not Democrat. Purged day 3 or something. So,
So
I don't know. People have short memories.
I was in the military already. I'd already been in for 5 years when Clinton got elected. I watched him literally gut the military. In the Navy alone, we went from over a 600 ship Navy down to a 300 ship Navy.
That's right.
Just the Navy alone. We're not talking about cuts the Marine Corps or the Army or the Air Force. He gutted us. And Hillary hates the
Yeah.
military.
That was that's written about in Dereliction of Duty. The Air Force colonel that carried the football, he documents Hillary Clinton's hatred of the military like throughout.
Well, I got it through secondhand information. I had a radio ET senior chief on my first boat who did a tour at the White House under the Clinton administration. And he's got stories, man.
Oh yeah. She's notorious, man. She's notorious. Hey, so I looked it up real quick. This is, he's firing U.S. attorneys that won't prosecute. Yeah, he is.
Yep.
President Bill Clinton dismissed all 93 U.S. attorneys on March 23rd, 1993, shortly after taking office. This action was part of a common practice where incoming presidents replace U.S. attorneys appointed by their predecessors, especially when there's a change in party control of the White House.
Yep. And you know what? That's his prerogative.
Yes. And that's all I'm trying to say, man, is these people act like, these things haven't happened, but they have very, very, very short memories, man. Very short memories.
Well, it's true. And, the White House has been modified multiple times since, let's just go from 1900.
Nobody, you know what? So that's not even a top 5 story in the U.S. Just and you know what else? Actually, I think that is. You know what isn't a top 5 story? The shutdown.
Right.
Nobody cares about the shutdown.
The only people that care are the people that are getting screwed, that aren't getting paid.
Yeah, I mean,
but wait a minute. Food stamps gonna be cut off here soon.
I just want to say this though, I hate to say this, right? I know the military is. I'm not, I'm excluding the military, but a lot of those government workers not getting paid would have stamped rejected on your shit in a heartbeat and not blinked twice.
You better believe it.
So I'm okay with them. I'm okay with government workers, feeling a little bit of the pain. I was at a duty station. I remember, I never forgot this. I was at a duty station where the commander would never give us liberty because the civilians would complain that we were getting off early.
What?
Yeah. He didn't want to hear the complaints from the civilians.
That must have been a hospital or a clinic.
It was.
Yeah. Go figure. Fucking pussies. Unbelievable. That's the kind of shit that I hope our Secretary of War just kind of roots right the hell out.
We need Congress to change that. Why are they taking so long? That's a quick change. Put that up for the vote, change it, and get it done.
Yeah. Well, the government shut down.
I know, but I mean, I'm just saying though, like, I don't understand why they didn't change that early while they were in session. They could have got that done.
Yeah.
I think here's the problem. I think there's a lot of rhinos, and I was just listening to analysis earlier where they were like, listen, here's what's going to happen. There's going to be a CR. They're going to come back to work. Trump's going to say, I'll promise negotiation on subsidies, and then the Republicans are going to cave, and the subsidies are going to come back.
I'm not taking that bet.
I know, right? Yeah, it's like because the Democrats are paying for it, but there's already Republicans who are saying they want the subsidies. You've got, Republicans are up for reelection, and they're going to cave on the subsidies. So instead of pushing the message in a united manner that Obamacare was never affordable, and we tried to tell you this, and you should stop listening to these people when they come up with plans to save your health care, because all they're trying to do is destroy it into a single payer system, which will be horrible for poor people. If you think single payer, is going to put you in the same line as, here, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Avenues are going to be carved out for people who have money.
Yeah, always.
There's never, you're going to see for cash services pop up, and it's going to be outrageous, but it's going to skip the line.
Yep. Fail to realize that they're causing and creating more harm than they are good.
People from Canada sneak in here for x-rays because our system of healthcare prevents unnecessary testing. Guys, you know what I mean? Right?
They don't.
You don't need to, you don't really need to, x-ray a cracked rib.
Right.
It doesn't change the treatment.
Nope, sure doesn't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just these things, man. I mean, I look, and people say, "Are you a doctor?" No, but I was a healthcare provider. Oh,
Hey, that's
somebody
right.
sent me their back X-rays, and I was like, "Well, everything looks like it lines up except that little guy."
Right.
And he's like, "That's where the problem is." Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, healthcare. If you'll never change healthcare by giving it to everybody free. You will not improve healthcare by giving it to everyone free. That will not improve healthcare.
Can we just
won't.
dispel the myth of free? There's no such thing as free.
Well,
Free
that
doesn't exist.
Yeah, that and I'm hearing it come around again. The argument that if we could sell insurance across state lines, that is an utter myth. That will not reduce the cost of insurance. That's not. I'm not saying it's a Republican scam, right? I mean, it might lower by like $20, but that is not going to produce savings that are going to be worth anything because the insurance plans still have to follow state requirements. So
The
it's
insurance
still,
companies are the worst culprit in all of this.
well, it's the states. The states are what cause problems, right? The insurance companies in the state cause problems. But it's mostly the states, right? Like if you look at high cost insurance in Massachusetts, right? Now Massachusetts, here's another thing people don't know. Romney Care, we through Senator Ted Kennedy's thriftiness pay Massachusetts $1 billion every year for their health care insurance.
What?
Every year we cut them a check for $1 billion for the Romney health care so that that they got passed. The universal care in Massachusetts. Anyway, long story longer. Massachusetts health insurance is some of the most expensive in the country because they require so much to be covered. So it doesn't matter if the policy is sold out of Alabama, it still has to cover all the things that are required by law to be covered in Massachusetts if you're going to insure someone in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
So selling across state lines is not going to help. Unless insurance companies get eaten by one or two companies and you only have one or two companies. Then they could probably drive down the cost by sheer volume of what comes in.
Never happened.
But you wouldn't be able to allow multiple providers because the pool wouldn't be large enough to cover. Like, you're not going to get enough Alabamans to cover, what goes on in Massachusetts, man.
Oh, hell no.
They have for fertility treatments are mandatory covered in Massachusetts.
I just lost that train of thought. Never mind. Anyway, this sounds like a good segue into getting out of here. Next week, I'm gonna be coming to you live from the campsite.
Sounds good.
So It would be a lot of fun. You'll have to drive. You'll be in the driver's seat.
No worries. I got the songs. I think somewhere. They won't.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Whatever. I'd like to say we got a week till we get there, but we'll fucking forget about it.
Let me push. Let me see what's on this button.
Into a depression at that point.
Oh, I love this guy.
Everyone, the Fed
I
chairman,
disagree that we were going into a depression, but go ahead.
Do you have a degree in economics?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Highest honors.
Okay, so you disagree with the Fed chairman, Ben Bernanke?
I love that. Do you have a degree in economics? Yes, ma'am, I do.
Do you?
Oh,
That's what he should have shot back with. Do you?
Penis had a mole on it. I'd recognize that penis anywhere.
Beulah Ballbreaker.
Now that penis had a mole on it. I'd recognize that penis anywhere.
Get the sketch artist.
That's the best. We'll put up flyers all over. Have you seen this prick?
All right, we're gonna get out of here. We'll catch y'all.
Hey, comment, click like down below. Again, start sending your emails. That account never slowed down. But I know we hadn't produced content, so we did stop receiving. But yeah, we're back up now again, monitoring the account. Go ahead and start sending in your emails, and we'll start answering them.
That's right. What he said. Peace.